Yeah, hi there. So continuing with our ggplot 2 visualization package in R. Okay, so let's continue. Let's quickly import the library ggplot2 and lubridate and set our data frame, which we have been working in the previous tutorial, which is basically the score made by Sachin in World Cups. So let me just quickly read the data and set it up like we had done in the previous tutorials. Okay, now our data frame is ready. If we want, we can have a quick look at the data frame df. I just click it. So this is the data frame, what it looks like. Let me do a little bit of more modification. Let me rename the first column as country, and now I view this data frame. So this is the country against which the innings was played by Sachin, date, runs scored, balls faced, number of boundaries like fours and sixes he hit, and in the particular World Cup he played that innings. Okay, now let's go ahead. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to do a bit of faceting. So one function is facet underscore wrap. So basically what it used to do is to break down a large plot into multiple subplots based on some specific category. So what I'm doing here is again this ggplot is a function calling the data frame df. X-axis is the number of balls faced, y-axis is the scores, or that is the runs scored by Sachin, and the points should be sized based on the runs he scored. And I'm adding one theme bw. Now what I'm doing is I'm just using the facet underscore wrap function. I'm faceting it based on this variable World Cup year, and I'm just giving a title. So let's see how it looks like. If I execute this, yeah, so this is so instead of getting one chart, what we are getting is multiple charts. And because we had specified the facet wrap is based on the World Cup year, so you see for each year you will see a graph with respect to number of balls and number of runs. So for each World Cup year, we can see how he did. For example, in 92 it was good, 96 was excellent, 99 was also very good, 2003 yes good, 2007 was not good, and 2011 India won the World Cup, so obviously that was good, and he made some contribution also in that World Cup. Okay, cool. Now next is if you want, we can modify the plot background, the axes like major axis, minor axis using the theme function. Within the theme, we can use panel dot background. Okay, so let's quickly execute this code and then we will compare the code with the output that we are getting. So let me run it. Okay, so this is the output that we got. So what we have done here, we have changed. If you see this major axes, these are bold and different color. This minor axis is red color and it is appearing in the dash format. On the x-axis, if you see, it is bold, thick, and orange kind of a color, and on the y-axis, if you see, again it is thick and it is blue color. So let's see how we achieve all this. And again, the background color of this chart is sky blue. Let's see how we achieve this. So we quickly go through the code and we'll compare it with the output. So up to this much is the same, taking the data from the data frame. X-axis is the number of balls, y-axis is the number of runs that I'm seeing here. Points again are based on the size. Size is based on the number of runs scored. So higher the score, the bigger is the dot. Okay, color is tomato, that is fixed for all the data points. Okay, theme is bw. Now what we're doing is first thing in the theme function we are specifying panel dot background. So this background, this of whole chart, it should be filled with light blue using element underscore rectangle function. So you see this light blue color in the background, it is coming from this particular piece of code. Next is the grid major axis and the minor axis. We have set the color and the size. So how to change the major axis color and size using panel dot grid dot major. is equal to element underscore line, because these are actually all these grids are nothing but lines. Yeah, so we have to use element underscore line function, and we can specify the color and the size. Similarly, for the minor axis, it is panel dot grid dot minor, and we have to change the line. So we are using element underscore line function, specifying the color, size, and line types. If you see, line type is dash, that is why the minor axis is having dashed lines. Okay, now this whole panel by default will give the border. I didn't want the border, so I'm setting panel dot border equals to element underscore blank. So if we have to turn off any property to appear in the graph, we can just set it like element underscore blank, so it will turn it off. Next is on the x-axis, that is on the line of the x-axis. So that is axis dot line dot x. So that I am setting it to the color of dark orange. You see the dark orange here, the size is 2, it is thick, and line end equals to but. So it shapes how the line actually ends. Now next, similarly, the axis line y, so it means the line which appears on the y-axis. Again, it is dark blue colored, size is 2, and line end equals to but. And then I'm just adding the title. So this is how we can control how our the lines should appear in a chart, that is the major axis, minor axis, and the line on the x-axis and the y-axis. Cool. So let me just again have a look at the chart. So this is what we got. Okay, now another thing we are doing is, if we do not want if basically if we want to hide any of the property, then we can just simply use element underscore blank. So what we have done here is the same chart, but I'm hiding everything. So if you see in the output, you just get only dots. There is no line on the x-axis, there is no line on the y-axis, x-axis. There is no grid, major grid, no minor grid at all. So what I've done here is I have set everything as element underscore blank. So the same plot between the balls and the ball spheres and the runs code. And in the theme, I'm just setting everything like panel grid major is element blank, panel grid minor is element underscore blank. So this will switch off the or major axis, this will turn off the minor axis. Panel dot border is equal to element underscore blank, so this will turn off the border. Again, axis dot title and axis dot text. So no title will appear on the axis, x-axis as well as y-axis both, and no text will appear on these axes. So everything is blank. So that's how we can control which is specific line or which is sometimes there's a requirement that you don't want to display major axis or minor axis. That's how you can turn it off. Okay, let's continue further. Now if we want an image to be imported, and then we want to plot something on top of it, then we can use a library like so here I'm using library grid first of all, and another library is png, so that I'd already installed previously. Now what I'm doing is I'm just reading the file sachin.png. This is I have saved it local in my local folder. I'm reading it using the read png function of png package and storing it in img object. And then what I'm doing is I'm just creating a raster grob object. So basically grob is a graphical object. So, and I'm passing image and interpolate equals to true and capturing it in another object g underscore pic. So graphic pic. So this pic I want to display. So if you see ggplot, this thing is what we have been doing on, like we are just calling the function, setting the aesthetic of x-axis and the y-axis. Then I'm creating this picture to appear on the graph using annotation underscore function, and I'm passing this object graphic underscore pic that we had created. And then on top of it, I'm building a geo underscore point geometric objects, and then adding the theme, and I'm setting so now because we are using a picture in the background, so definitely I don't want major minor axis to appear. I just want to hide it out, and also I want to hide out the ticks. So let's see how it looks like. Okay, let me first create this. Yeah, that's how you get a picture. So this is the picture of Sachin that I had imported using this annotation underscore custom function, and on top of it, and I'm building another layer of which is dot, that is tells the score he made in the World Cup matches. So that's how you can import images in the background, and and then you can build uh, further plots on top of it. So that's it in this tutorial. Thank you.